a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. How am I singing? When I like me singing, where you say me can go sign up for Rising Star. Look how you don't laugh after me. Don't laugh at me. Me can sing. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to Jamaica 411. I thought I'd make you laugh today. I hope you haven't cork up your ears. I don't think my singing is that bad, Talk truth. Anyway, we are here to discuss briefly, and I mean, please, my brief things can go on, because as I speak to you sometimes, the thoughts are rolling, and that is why sometimes I go on, because if there are things that needs to be said, it must be said, So we are here to discuss the recent Cascas spat, usual undermining and sabotaging that goes on in this Peter Bunting and Mark Golding Rice camp. They seem to have lost control, which happens sometimes in an organization, especially an organization that is constructed chiefly of persons who are underminers and saboteurs, sexual deviants, people who have been convicted of a variety of crimes and been to prison and all sorts. Mercy, mercy, if you ever hear some of the things that some of these people in the rice camp are up to. When you talk about giving a second chance. But then these are the people that Bunting and Golding could only rely on because, of course, a decent and honest and respectable political party would not, especially one that was established on the basis of its desire to do something for the people and to act with integrity. That was Norman Manley's thing. He not do nothing that is not ethical and is not about the integrity of the institution. That's what he established. That's what he set up in party to do, and that is what he established it as. Now, the party has been taken over. It kind of reminds me a little bit, of what happened to those kingdoms in the past, those powerful kingdoms such as Rome and Greece and all of them. At some point, some Vandals, some barbarians take control of them and pretend that they're Caesars and they're, whatever it is. At some point, they take over Kemet, call it Egypt, and started to pretend that they were pharaohs and so on. That is what happens. It didn't get watered down. It becomes corrupt, and it eventually dies. And sadly, unless the People's National Party can extricate it from its membership, these serpents that have captured the party and made it into their own particular style of politics. It is like Rome, like Greece, and like the ancient empires in Ethiopia and elsewhere. It will die. I don't think it can't die. It can and it will die, but it may not die in the way in which those former kingdoms, those former world powers, rule the seas type of empire, died. So it appears to me that the strategy for recruitment by Bunting and Golding was to seek out persons within the party who are deviants, have all this criminal background, conviction and went to prison and so on. These would be perfect and ideal for what they were intending to do. These were the persons who perhaps were very ambitious but could never hope to be promoted within the party with the background that they had and with what baggages they brought with them, especially to the places they would like to go, like becoming an MP, senator, councillor, and party officer, vice presidents, chairman of this and chairman of that, and any other important positions that the party may have to offer. So you can imagine when Bunting and Goling came calling, if they couldn't get no authentic, decent, respectable PNP people to come join them. It's the riffraff and the deviants would have been the first pick, because they're the only ones who'd likely to come and join, especially the ambitious one, would go and join their sabotaging crew. And of course, when they heard what they had to do to get to where they need to go, they would have been delighted, because that kind of thing, treachery and deviance, is right up their street. The People's National Party is on a downward spiral. With Mark Goling and Peter Bunting running things, it's a downward spiral. There is no democracy in the party at all, despite the fact that the Constitution of the People's National Party states clearly that it is a democratic socialist party based on democratic principles. It has several organizations and organs. Every single one of those organs and organizations are there, and the membership must be elected by specific groups, and usually they all are elected by the groups or delegates of a group. That has gone through the window. The president has secured himself from being challenged, they call it, which is not really a challenge. The party says that a leader should be up for re-election every year. And if somebody believes they can do a better job and they put themselves up, that person should be put before the delegates and let the delegates decide. That don't happen very often at all once a leader is elected. But Mark has ensured that he cannot be removed for the next 2 years. I think it expires next year, right? They have also removed the election of vice presidents from the delegates and membership. That power now resides in the hands of Mark Goling on the one side and Philip Paulwell on the other side. They elected 2 each between them. There is no provision in the Constitution of the People's National Party which allows this, but they did it, and the membership not doing anything about it, because they tell them that to carry them to court, because that is the only way they're going to get relief, to go to court, because the disciplinary committee and every organization of the People's National Party has been corrupted. They have put Mark and Bunting, they have put persons there that are risers that will do their bidding, right? So it don't make no sense you go to a disciplinary committee. It don't make no sense you go to the NEC. It don't make no sense you go to the executive, go point out nothing or complain. This is the organization that they have set up. There is no democracy in the PNP, right? You cannot even select members to represent you at the local levels. They set up the thing in such a way that they are the ones at party headquarters who determine who must represent you in the seat. And it doesn't matter whether or not the people want them to represent them either. So the only avenue which is available to the dues-paying membership of the People's National Party would be the courts of Jamaica to enforce their rights under their own constitution. But they are being told by those who will have their way or want to have their way that that is not comradely. No comrade would do such a thing. That is for them argument, You can't be a comrade when you do such things. You can't carry a party to court. You can't carry the People's National Party to court because it is not an legal entity. It is an unincorporated group, which means that it is a group of people. It has no legal standing on its own. It cannot enter into contracts. So whoever it is that's leading or a part of the management team or the trustees, they are the ones in whose name the contract would have to be written into. This is part 4 of the application form for a political party to operate as a political party in Jamaica. And as you can see, there are 6 types of constitution of the parties. Neither the PNP or the JLP are companies. They are not body corporates. They are unincorporated association. They are governed by a constitution, and they do have a deed trust because the trustees would have to, if the party or the group of people in the party wants to buy a property like 89 Old Hope Road, it has to be in the name of persons who are trustees, right? People's National Party is not a legal entity. It cannot operate on its own. All right, it's just a group of people that goes by the name People's National Party, right? It is an entity that is organized very differently. So you have to carry officers of the party to court. Officers of the party to court, right? So if you're going to court about something, it's either the general secretary or the chairman or the party president, but you will never see on any court document People's National Party. It is not organized as an entity. It's not registered as an entity with the company's office, right? So therefore, it cannot sue, nor can it be sued. And yet they try to make the comrades feel as though to take the so-called party to court. This is how they lie and deceive the people who put them there in order to guide and help them and secure victory so that they can do something for the people. Instead, they turn around and use their education and their information to mislead the delegates in order to have their own way, right? In other words, them thieving the party from the delegates. The party belongs to the delegates according to the Constitution. But the people who are there in the upper echelons of it, now them thief it from them. And then turn around and tell them, don't do anything about it, because to do anything about it will mean you're not a comrade. So I'm going to let you listen to these clips from Craig Oates. There's a conversation between him and Ian Hayles. Ian Hayles, you will recall, is one of the vice presidents of the People's National Party who was not elected by any member of the party. The technique which was used to bring that about was that they strong-armed and shamed other members who wanted to run as vice president. There are 4 of them. As long as there are only 4 of them running, then there is no election. When you have a 5th one, there has to be an election. So when Zulika just wanted to run, they did all sorts of things trying to get her not to run because they did not want an election, right? They wanted who they wanted, and the delegates must not have any say in the matter. It's as simple as that. Ian Hayles, you will also remember, is one of the senior members of the Rise United movement. He, with Bunting, Goling, Dayton Campbell, Angela Brownberg, Fagan, Donovan Mitchell, Audrey Facey, and Fenton Ferguson, and Luther Buchanan. They were part of this group, WhatsApp league group called the Rise United Strategists. And although, to their credit, Audrey Facey and Donovan Mitchell left the group because they realized that what they were doing was undermining the party's chances to win the general election, so they left. It was in the Rise United Strategists group that they plotted the fate of the People's National Party to lose the general election in order to elevate themselves into the positions that they now hold. That Ian Hayles is who we are talking about. So let's listen to the conversation between him and Craig Oates, who is not a riser and not a member of their clique, whom he decided to call out of the blue to ask of him a favor. We are going to hear what the favor is, or perhaps favors are. We are also going to be privy to certain information that we did not know before. Very, very interesting information was revealed. And just for further clarity, the names of the persons you will hear called, with the exception of Craig Oates, all the names that you will hear, Colin Hitchman, Darnell's, Ian Hayles, Mark Golding, they are all from the same Rise camp. So let's eavesdrop on the conversation.
Did Jerome Darnell resign as PNP Region 6 Secretary? The affable, respected young politician who is Secretary of the PNP is alleged to have resigned a few days ago. What role, if any, did Vice President of the PNP, Ian Hayles, play in this? It is no secret that the current chairman, Colin Hitchman, seen here on the screen, was going to be challenged by Darnell. Based on my information, Darnell was told to stand down his challenge in the interest of party unity. But how could this be when some of those same persons telling Darnell to stand down were the same ones that challenged Portia Simpson-Miller, Dr. Peter Phillips, and had other challenges in the PNP? It is sad what has become of this young man. The People's National Party is at a standstill, or at a crossroad. And Vice President Ian Hayles need to come clean and explain why did he call Craig Oates, someone who he doesn't have a relationship with. What is it he said to Oates? What favor did he ask of Oates as it relates to Darnell? Did he have any unprofessional conduct and say anything untoward about anyone in the People's National Party? Or did he sat and listen in a conversation that had discussion with other members of the party to include the hierarchy? This is a very serious time in the life of the PNP, where persons are looking for the party to come to rebound from a JLP administration. But after calling Andrew Holness Hitler, is it just and right to stifle a young comrade from not challenging for a position? Vice President Hayles needs to come forward. He needs to speak, because shortly the entire world will know what is said. This cannot be the PNP that Michael Manley envisioned. Democracy is tantamount to unity.
Well, obviously, Peter Bunting, Mark Golding, Dayton Campbell, Ian Hayles, and Angela Brown-Burke don't think so. They only believe in democracy and want to have their rights as members of the party to challenge when they are seeking to uproot somebody who is in a position that they want. But when they arrive, they don't want anybody to challenge them, and that's the long and short of it. These people are despots and dictators. That's how dictators and despots are created. You just check the recent past of some of those countries in Africa. Same thing. They're in opposition. Them want the right to vote. Them want democracy. Them cuss the government. They are dictators and they pretend to be Democrats. And then the minute that them get elected and get control of the electoral system, them corrupted more than the man who was there before. So when you see these people, these risers showing you who they are, you better believe it. They don't have no power yet in this country. They are just opposition. And they're running a party. You see how they're running the party? That's who they are. They are not Democrats. What they are power hungry. And they have now put themselves in a position where they can ride upon the backs of the Democratic Socialists of the People's National Party to find themselves in Jamaica House. And then what do you think they're going to do? So let's now listen to the conversation, which will indicate the kind of pressure that Darnell was under to give up his bid to be regional chair for Region 6. Let's listen.
Doesn't have my support.
Because for your boy don't know over them and support him and head and worm them. And that is why I stay away from PNP politics, because guess what go on? You did it and you sit down around the table and yes, me here say you defend me. And honestly, I never look no seat. I just say I want the party win. And the party do fuckery. Them are gonna lose it to another seat. Especially if them make this change with each man. Yo.
But he doesn't have my support, you know. He doesn't have the General Secretary support.
Yeah, but based off what me here. But based off what me here.
Westmoreland support and him not have St. James support.
But
We know that for.
But based off what me here, you only have 12 delegates. 12 group.
But I'm not putting in any paper group. May I do everything over again and do it fresh. Because there isn't any election in the party. All the focus is supposed to be on a general election.
Well, as what me I say right now to you, based off what me here, Central Westmoreland are no delegate. Western Westmoreland where you then are no delegate. And St. James, I support him. And people are lining up to go up on his slate. This is but I tell you what I pick up, you know, there are some people call me. Because I try to stay away from the politics. Because I be a hypocrite tonight.
I understand. Don't get me wrong, I understand.
Western Hanover with worm. How you, as a vice president for Region 6, sit down and make Angela Brownberg give worm, Mia Felusi, a constituency. I mean, may I have a disagreement, but a constituency where you work so hard. For Bill. Is a shadow of its former self. How the party explain that? How no put in a candidate in a Eastern and over? Take out the personality out of it. Because me involved. When I go through no polling, when I go through no good integrity commission and from last year. Hello? And from last year, nothing at all coming out of Eastern and over. Yeah, Vice President. Eastern and over in a Hopewell division only have the biggest division with 10,000 odd vote. Only has one group. That don't make no sense, Ian. That don't make no sense.
Well, as I said to you, my whole concern is, in terms of the region, is Region 6 has been the most successful region out of all 6 regions. That's number one. Number two is that we don't want anything for upstore this year in terms of anything in the party, because we're poised to win Region 6 and the entire and the general. I understand everything what you say, but it don't make no sense. We're getting at it. You know, I understand everything you're saying, but...
Yeah, but what I say to you, though, is I could just look at the numbers and take out the personality.
Correct.
I could just...
I'm not saying, you know, because I don't want to be taped.
No, listen. I just say something to you. You're not have to say nothing either. I talk to you. Me not no interest in PNP politics. Me only talk to you as a man to a man. See? Me not no interest in PNP politics. Listen me good. I know that you never want Darnell. Me know that for a long time.
In terms of what?
Going forward as region chairman. See?
No, but look. For me, as I said, look, I would want somebody who has run a seat experience. I don't know nothing person. I mean, that's just what it is. It's a job where you have to have experience. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but what may I say to you still is that democracy do my boss. If you believe saying can't win, then allow him to run. That's what I say.
No, you're missing. You're missing what I try to say. What I'm trying to say to you is, where we are in every internal election has damaged the party somewhat.
Me get you. Me get you. Me get what you say now.
Yeah, man.
So the elders them in the party no call him. The Gen Sec no call him.
I know he has gotten calls. I don't know what decision he planned to make, but I know he has received calls.
Well, me know say him have a slate, and me know say Hanover Western, me not think Hanover Eastern have a lot of votes. But Hanover Western and probably Eastern to some extent. I give me don't know how winter go cause I look like you control winter. If you ask me. But
No, sir, poor me. I don't control nobody.
Hope will only have one something there, Sunday beer. But the long and the short of it is, I mean, me go ponder it. But let me just say this: if we as a region, if whilst you go with me think you go win the 3 seat down west, I am not certain if we go win none of the seat them on over. And probably the best case scenario, I see a 1-1 because I don't see Dave Brown winning. Eastern winning. In a St. James, apart from South, it's going to be a stretch. But I mean, me personally, I go talk to him. And I go get a feel out of something and then I go call her back and tell her.
All right, cool.
Me I go do that. Right. But me hear say them a go change for your boy. Down why name? The MP, Moreland, and put in James.
Anybody come I see him treatment.
Yeah, but me I tell you something. Look on the numbers. A new candidate can change any race. And you have lost 2 divisions.
I won the constituency by 800 votes. And I don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Me I call him. Listen for me call you. But me I tell you, if we don't make some movements and some changes with Mr. the mayor man in a Lucy, take it from me. The short term, the mid term, and the long term consequences are gonna be dire. And me not tap. And me think you know me. Me not tap.
You know my views on that. You're no stranger to my views on that.
So if Angela Brownberg put him in there to do her political bidding, she only a mash up a party. You get more calls than me. People are ball down there, brother.
You know.
People are cry down there. People are ball and them think them one up you. Them think them one up you. When them do what them do, they never one up you. Them fuck up the party. Cause nothing is being done. No, it was a political strategy from the whoever make that decision. But as I said, me now go get too deep into the weeds. What is happening is that the PNP have 2 seats in Hanover to make Region 6 go. And the way, are you sure a Westmoreland seat them? Then 3 seats there? You're not sure. Me certain say you're not sure I 2 Hanover seat. The girl now no money. You cannot even keep a fucking conference. That is how bad it is. You have to keep private session. Andrea Perkis.
Who don't have no money? Which one?
Perkis. He don't have no money either. He don't walk and give you a light bulb. When you got PNP, when you got PNP women's movement, can't have Kerry in Shine Beckford as a face a woman movement in Hanover, you know say parish done.
Why your face to the right?
Don't lie me I tell. I truth me I give. I the truth me I give. You can come out right now and tell me say Craig Watts without winning 3 Westmoreland seat. Me, the Gen Sec, Vaz. And me cannot. Me not no data for dispute what you say. None. Zero. But when you look for Hanover, at 34,600 vote there, Lucy. You know how much vote the PNP get, and they were in a general election mode. They got 4,900 vote. You know how much vote they get in a Eastern Hanover? 4,800 out of 26,000. And we know say in a general election, the GLP ceiling in a Lucy is between 6,000 and 6,003 at maximum speed.
Yeah, man, the maximum. That's the maximum.
Right? Either cannot get 6,000 votes. Take it from me and you go second votes and tell you. Dave Brown, I get the whole of the spark money. For spend. Tell me, him I go fix 11 road now. And by next year, March, him fix another 11 road. How that go? Me don't talk, me not nothing more to say.
Perfect, cool.
But me make you know, me I go chat to him. And get a feedback and tell you.
All right, cool.
Me I can't chat to him before the day done. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Apparently, young comrade Darnell did not understand that yes, he may have been, or he may be in the Rise camp, but unfortunately for him, there is something called ranking. He's not a ranking member. He's a young fellow. But evidently, Peter Bunting and Mark Golding did not explain these things to him. And they wouldn't. They had to give these young people the impression that they are favored and that they are number one, but that's not how it works. There is seniority, not even in the business that they operate do they operate in that fashion. But of course, I can't tell the young people that. So, what do? Deceive them. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for stopping by, keeping me company as usual. Thank you always for supporting the channel, subscribing. Thanks for sharing the video, liking the video, and leaving your comments. So until next time, do take good care of yourself and walk good.